Alrighty, my friends, welcome to today's lesson. Today, we're diving into triads all over the guitar neck. You can download the tabs for this video in the description. Get your guitar in your hands, and let's get started. Now today, you might hear a little bit different sound out of my guitar. I am plugged in, I am using a loop pedal, and I'm going to loop some things to show you some triads. But if you pull up the tabs in the description, we're going to start with the first string set. And this is going to be kind of like a drill or a boot camp on triads over the guitar neck. You're going to learn so much from this, so I highly recommend diving into this lesson. With that, let's dive in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a C chord. Now, if you play a C chord open, and even if you put a G in the bass with the ring finger here, and you play every single string, the voicing of that chord is 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. So a triad is 1, 3, and 5 of a scale. So if you play a C major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, it's going to be do, mi, and so. That's the triad. 1, 3, 5. That's from the first degree of the scale, the third degree of the scale, 1, 2, 3, and the fifth degree of the scale, 3, 4, 5. Put those together and you get a triad. You can play these triads all over the neck, and it's really, really helpful to connect the dots on the guitar to know triads. So if we take that fully open C chord, we're going to start with the first string set. The first string set is strings G, B, and E. Take those strings and you just play the top part of a C chord. So those notes. That's the first triad. If you take, then go to the next voicing of that chord, the voicing of this chord is fifth, root, third. So the root, do, is in the middle. Now think about it. If you have 3 notes, how many different ways are there to organize those 3 notes? Yes, there are 3 ways. So you could put the root in the middle like this. You could take that root, do, 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 and put it on the bottom, which is this voicing, frets 5, 5, and 3. Pull up the tabs again to find the voicings if you need. That's with the root on the bottom. Do, 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 root, root, third, fifth. So that's the organization of that triad. Then we can put the root on the top, which looks like this. And this is third on the bottom, fifth in the middle, root on the top. Do, 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 right? That's in your top there. Now, the third voice, the last voicing here is the same as the first one. So that D shape, right? If you play a normal D chord, that's the shape for that, and that is the same as this, except for you're using open strings. So it's like if you had fingers on the open fret, it would be that shape, same as this, but you're just using open strings. So you use your first finger there. So the 3 voicings are, and then you have the first voicing again. So what you want to do is you want to drill yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Then try half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, you can slow it down to do quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Where am I here? Right? Working up the speed to that, you could pull out, if you wanted, a metronome, and you could put the click on. Let's see. Let's see if you can see this. There we go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right, so on like that. quarters. Now if it's too hard to do quarters at that speed, take the metronome down. 2, 3, 4. You're going for a nice clear sound. So if you're not getting a clear sound, that means you're going too quickly. So I'm just demonstrating for you. I'm not telling you what speed you should go at because I don't know where you're at with your technical ability on the guitar. But start at the speed you can and drill yourself on being able to get from one shape to the next. You could just try 2 shapes. Just get used to that transition from here. You know, with this one, I like keeping my middle finger on the string because it's on the same string. So I keep my middle finger in place. You can even slide it. So you're just getting used to that transition. And then the same thing here. It's good position shifting exercise just to go through the triads. Okay? So that is for the 1 chord. Now in a key, for example the key of C, the 1 chord is C, the 2 chord is D minor, the 3 chord is E minor, the 4 chord is F, the 5 chord is G, the 6 chord is A minor, the 7 chord is B diminished. I'll talk about that another time. We'll revisit the diminished idea. It's fun. And then the 1 chord. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to learn the triads for the 1, 4, and 5 chord, which are all the same shape because they're all major. Right? Major triads are all going to be the same shape. Minor triads are going to be all the same shape. So we're going to use the 1, 6, 4, and 5 chords. So what are the 1, 6, 4, and 5? C is the 1, A minor is the 6, F is the 4, G is the 5. Okay, the 6th chord is always minor, you know, in a key. So the A, right? If you count up 6, C, D, E, F, G, A. That A chord is going to be minor because it's the 6. Right? The 6, the 2, and the 3 are all minor in a major key. We'll keep reviewing all this stuff. This will all eventually become second nature to know for you. But just stick with me here. So from the 1 chord, which is this, to the 6th chord, what we're going to do, and I'll show you this in a way that might be a little bit simpler first. If you take 2-note chords and you play up the scale like this, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, which I've done in another video, a drone video, I believe number 2. So I'll link that in this video. But you should know those 2-note chords going up a scale because we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor, and C. Now, if we add a third to that, or add a fifth, because this is root, third. We're playing that in thirds. So all we're doing with the triad is we're taking the root and third, and we're adding a fifth below it to make a trifecta of harmony. Okay? So we're going to find the 6th chord right in this spot, and I'll show you where it is. The way that you find the 6th chord is the 5, which is right here. Why is that the 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, in the key of C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. So the 5, we're taking it up to the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you know that C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we're taking the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're putting it up to the 6. That's all you have to do to get from the 1 chord to the 6th chord is you just have to take the 5 that is in the 1 chord, right? This is the 1 chord. Where's the 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. You just have to take that 5 and make it a 6. And then you have a minor 6 chord, which is A minor in the key of C. So that's going to be the shape for your minor chord when the root is on the bottom, right? It's this kind of like staircase looking chord, right? And that's within an A minor chord is just the top 3 notes. Okay? Now let's find the next voicing for A minor. It's all on fret 5. That's the next one. The next one is this shape, which you may have learned if you've learned a D minor chord, right? That's just that shape moved up. So again, look at your tabs if you need to, but I'll just show you. And then that is the top one. That is the same as the bottom one. So you have this. Okay, so that is for the 6th chord. Now let's find the 4 chord. So to get from the 6th chord to the 4 chord, all you have to do is take the 3rd, 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi, right? There's the 3rd, and you turn it into a 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you then have the 4 chord, which looks like that. Here's the voicings for the 4 chord. Now, if you notice, there's only 3 shapes for a major chord. This one we played before, didn't we? With the C, right? We can play a C there. That's the same shape. We just moved it to F. Same with this next variation of F, right? That is the same as this C we played, or this C that we played. We've just moved it to F. So we've got this shape, this shape, this shape, which is the same, as this C. We just moved it to F. And then the final one is the same as the first one. Okay, so here's F. Now, so forgive me, my guitar's not in tune up on the high strings, or on the high frets. So there we go, we've got F now. And then we go to G, which the 5 chord is going to be the same as the 4 chord, just 2 frets up. So if this is the 4 chord, the 5 chord is always just 2 frets up. So here's G, here's G, here's G, and I'm not even going to do the high G because I don't have a cutaway and I don't need to play that high. So I'll just do the 3 voicings for that. Maybe I'll just do 3 voicings for all of them. G, G, G. So those are the same transitions we do with F and C. See, they're all the same transitions, the same shapes. Let's call this shape 1, shape 2, shape 3. Right? Then we start with shape 3, shape, I forget what the numbers are, but you get the idea. They're the same 3 shapes. For G, okay, you got it. And then the A minor shape. Cool. So once you learn the 1, 6, 4, 5, then you can try to drill yourself. So I'll give you an example here. I'll make a loop just on C. You could practice with a backing track that uses these chords, or there's lots of ways to practice it. I'm going to make my own backing track here. Just something like this. Okay, there's my loop. Now I'm going to play. I'm just drilling. different ways I'm playing it. You can have fun with it. You can play it as a chord. You can play it separate. You can go. Let's try that. Cool? Okay, you can see I'm using the shapes and I'm messing around. I'm trying to get used to transitioning between those, okay? Now I'll do it with an F chord. You can look up a backing track for just about anything. So if you look up on YouTube, backing track, only F chord, it'll give you something. But I'm going to make one up here. Let's just do the same rhythm, just with an F chord. Okay, now my F voicings. Pluck. Okay, I'm practicing on F. That might be a little fast for you, so just practice in your own pace. Learn the physical movements. We're just learning physical movements here. I'm making it a bit musical, but that's just for fun because I want to have fun while I practice. Okay, let's do the A minor shape. I'll do it a bit slower here. Let me make a loop. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, A minor triads. Practicing transition. Okay, here we go. Do the same. Did I do G yet? Let's do G. Play something in G, just triads. Pick them. Try something crazy. Okay, fussing around in G. Then you try to mix them all together. Let me make a chord progression here. I'm going to do C, A minor, F, G. 1, 2. Let's do a different rhythm for fun here. I'll show you. You can make anything up you want. Let's make it funky. 2, 3. Here's C, A, F, Find an A minor. Find an F. Find a G. C. A minor. F. G. Find an F. Find a G. What one do you want? C. A minor. F. G. Fussing around. Okay. You get the idea. Now, you don't have to play crazy like I was playing. I'm really, truly just working on the transitions. I'm trying to make it musical as I go. You can do that, but don't feel like, oh, you should be able to fuss around like I was there. That comes from years of practicing these triads. But notice how whatever chord comes up, if I want to play a C, I can play it here. Actually, let me show you. I'll play all the triads in one spot. I won't move. Let's do it here. Check this move. Just one note. So I'm staying all in the same spot. And I'm just moving one note at a time. Move this up. G. Beautiful. You get the idea. Just working on the triads. So that is the first string set, doing the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. Okay. We'll expand this in a future video. This is the start. Now let's move to the next string set. Remember, this is a drill. This is not a drill. It is a drill though. So we're moving to the second string set. So just look at a C chord again. What are the C notes, C chord notes in the second string set? It looks like this, right? And then we have, those are the three shapes for C in the second string set. The second one's 5, 5, 5 for the frets, and the frets on the third one are 10, 8, 7, the little staircase. Go for a walk, okay? So I'll just go quickly now. You have the tabs, you can always review those. How do you get from a 1 chord to a 6 chord? Quiz. I talked about it in the beginning. You might not remember. To get from a 1 chord to a 6 chord, you take the 5 in the 1 chord. So remember, the 1 chord has 3 notes in it. It has a root, third, and a fifth. So we're taking that fifth and we're making it a 6th. So how do we find the 5th in this chord? How do you know what's the root? Well, there's lots of ways, and it comes from years of practice and thinking about these things. But one way that you can know where a root is you should know for your C chord, the bottom's a C and the top's a C. So you've got a C there, and we learned that from the previous chord, right? The C's right there, and this was the 5th in the previous chord. It's still the 5th in this chord. We put the 3rd on the bottom. So with this one, the 3rd, na na na, was on the top. Na na na, we put it on the bottom. And you get that sound. So the 5th is the G string. The G note is the 5th of C. C, E, F, G. Where am I? C, D, E, F, G. The 5th is G. So take that G string and move it to a 6. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get get that shape, which is your typical A minor cowboy chord shape. So now where are the other ones? Right, fret 7, 5, 5, and then we have fret 10, 9, 10, and then we have the same as the first one again, which is 14, 14, 13. I'm not going to use that. My guitar won't be in tune up there. So I'm just going to use this, this, and this. Okay. There's my minor chord shapes. Then the 4 chord shapes. How did we get to the 4 from the 6? We took the, let's see, what is it? The major third of the key. 1, 2, 3. And we just moved it up to a 4. And that gives you the 4 chord. So from the A minor, you just have to take this E and move it up to an F. These two notes are the same. We're just changing this note to get that chord. So there's our F. Now remember, all the major chords are going to have the same shapes. So this one, we did C here. Remember our Cs? So we just take that. That moves to an F. This is the next shape. And then this is the next shape. So we have. Now this middle shape right here is the same as open C like this. Just move it up. Okay, so we got F and G, same thing, 2 frets up. Let's check it out. A minor, F, G. C. Okay, so C, A minor, F. You can also do G there. Just open, open, open. Okay, so recognize the shapes, start seeing the patterns, and you can drill yourself in a lot of different ways. I'll try to do all 4 shapes right here. 1, 6, 4, 5, 1. Let me try it right here. 1, 6, 4, 5, 1. Let me try it right here. 1, 6, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so I'm kind of drilling so I know the shapes. I can also play, if I have a C chord, I could play every different variation of the C chord. And when I have an A minor chord, I can play every variation of the A minor. You're just drilling. So 2, 3, 4. A minor. F. G. C. A minor. F. G. C. Okay, you get the idea. Same thing, we're going to move to the next string set. I'm going to go a bit quicker here. Not that I think you should learn these quicker, but just I know that you have the material, you can slow everything down on your own. C in the next string set is root, 3rd, 5th, right within the chord, root, 3rd, 5th. The next voicing, 3rd, 5th, root. Next voicing, 5th, root, 3rd. So there's our 3. Okay. Good. The minor chord is this shape. So we've got 3, 2, 2, 7, 7, 5, 12, 10, 9. Now I barely ever use these shapes, so these are the ones I need to work on. I always change it to major, so So there's the 6th chord, got it. The 4 chord, looks like this. Check your tabs. Just doing the 4 chord. Getting used to that. Where am I here? 4 chord, 4 chord, 4 chord, 4 chord, 4 chord. Okay. 5 chord. I'll just use those 3. You could do that. Right. So learn those, and then you can practice them with a backing track or a metronome. Anyway, do your 15 minutes a day or more. Do an hour of practicing triads, whatever suits your fancy. 1, 2, let me practice. Minor. F major. G. Let me go around. G. Beautiful. Moving on to the last string set. Here's your C shape with the 5th in the bottom, the root in the middle. 5th, root, 3rd, root, 3rd, 5th. That's the same as your normal C chord. Forgive if there's buzzing. We got vibrations going. So root in the middle, root on the bottom, root on the top. Where am I here? Okay, forgive the tuning there. And then the minor, the A minor. Looks like that. These are pretty cool voicings, these low things. A minor. And then we have, let's see. So how do we find the next one? We take the root and we go to, well, what's in A minor chord? An A, C, and an E. A, C, E. So we're going to take the C, E, and A. And we get this. So here's one, and here's one. Now these are all going to be the same shapes on the bottom 2 strings. So this A minor chord we did up here, right? This A minor chord we did here. So it's the same shape. Okay. And then the next A minor chord is going to be E, A, and C. And we did that one here. So you can see these shapes repeating themselves. So let's find the A minors again. A minor, A minor, A minor. Now these ones I need to work on. Okay, those are the A minors. Here's the Fs. Starting there. Then moving to that shape. So we got this shape, and then we have, let's see what it would be. F, and then the, oh yeah, this. Wait, is that F? No. F, do. Let's try this again. F, 4 chord there. My brain is starting to fart out, which means these are the ones I need to work on, these low shapes. And I guarantee you if I do, I'll get a lot more vocabulary in my playing and connect more dots. So it's endless, guys, I'm telling you. There's so much to learn with these. So we'll take the F there. We will also, and if I get stuck, I could always either refer to the tabs because I wrote these out, or I could figure it out myself, which is really the way to do it. And one way to think of it as an F chord is a G, a C, and wait a tick. Oh, it's because I'm not playing an F chord. That's why I was tripping out. Here's an F chord, which is an A, a C, and an F. A, C, F. So there is with the root on the top. Do, 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 do. That's the root there. Now we're going to play a C, F, and A. We get that shape. C, F, A. And then we're going to play, let's see, an F, F, A, C, and do it that way. So there's all your Fs. So I might try to practice with the recording. 2, 3, here's C. Here's the F. Oh, sorry, goes A minor second. So here's C. A minor. F. G. C. Now, those ones are rusty for me, I'll be honest with you, so I need to sit down and practice with that. But you get the idea. You learn the triads all over the neck, and that's step 1. So this is part 1 of the triad video. Later, you can start to learn, I'll just give you a brief forecast. Like, for example, each little triad chord and C. Let me just do a C backing track. Something funky in C. 2, 3, 4. So each variation in C, they all have little things you can do around them. So if you connect like a pentatonic, I could play this C variation and do some kind of lick. Or this one. Or here. So C. Here. So I'm messing around with some scales that I know, but connecting them in my mind to the triad shape, it kind of keeps you in the right spot. Like if you're C, you can go here. You can go here. You can go here. Or here. So the triads they're like glue that connect all your scales together so you can understand where you are and what chord you're playing with. So that, maybe I'll do that in part 2, is how to connect the triads to scale shapes and use that. You can do that with the minor ones. You can also learn all the other chords in the key, right? I did the 1, 6, 4, and 5. Well, what about the 2, 3, and 7? Well, we can look at those chords too, but one step at a time. I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed this triads video. Please use it, practice it, spend a bit of time every day and getting used to those triads. And later on, you will thank me. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.